Welcome to LaStella Winery, located on the Osoyoos Lake of the hot South Okanagan in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. To the cellar, cool down a little bit, and I can tell you a little bit about the wines that we make here from grape varieties such as Sangiovese, both the Grosso and the Piccolo clone, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay, and Moscato. Much cooler in here. About 15 degrees in the cellar compared to the 35+ degrees Celsius outside. South Okanagan, the desert climate gives you that hot days and the cool nights. And this is where the magic happens. In the cellar here, behind me the tank room, we ferment the wines there and we nurture them and we age them here to turn them into beautiful wines for you. The inspiration for the whites are coming from Alto Adige and Friuli, northern Italy, where they craft their whites into beautiful, aromatic, crisp, delicate, fruity wines. No heavy-handed winemaking, no techniques, no barrel aging, no nonsense. Just pure, healthy grape juice fermented into something delicious. The reds we get our inspiration from the coastal area of Tuscany, Maremma, Bolgheri, where the brave men and women of the region about in the 60s, they decided to work with their local grape variety, Sangiovese, along with the grape varieties that made their home in Bordeaux first, to take their wines into a different level. And to also show the Bordelais that you don't necessarily need to wait 20-30 years for the wines to age before being drinkable. If you've taken a look at our bottles, you see names such as Leggero, Vivace, Fortissimo, Maestoso. You don't see Merlot, Pinot Grigio, Chardonnay. Why is that? We find that it's very misleading, or I should say not enough, to simply put the name of the grape variety on the label. That only tells you part of the story. It's only part of the equation. Where that grape was grown, the vineyard site, the elevation of it, the exposure of it, the topsoil, the subsoil, make a huge difference. So what do these names mean, Leggero, Vivace? Musical notes, Italian musical themes, to convey an emotion, to engage the consumer, and to let them know what they're about to get into. Leggero is a name that we've chosen for our unoaked Chardonnay. Unoaked, minimal. Leggero means elegant and minimal. Vivace is our Pinot Grigio, vivacious, full of life, full of joy. Before you even open the bottle, you know that you're in the presence of something that is going to bring a lot of joy and happiness to you. Fortissimo, or loud, is our Tuscan-inspired red blend, full of force, full of life. It's going to punch you around a little. And Maestoso, of course, the top of the crescendo, when Pavarotti's veins used to stick out at that peak, is that moment of majesty, that moment of reaching the top and you know there's nothing above it. Let's go taste some. So where to find our wines? How to partake in this Southern Okanagan experience? Well, the best way is really to come and visit us around the year, see the natural abundant beauty of the region. But if you can't just be here yet, you can find our wines in Vancouver, rest of British Columbia, but also rest of Canada. You can also find our wines in places like Los Angeles and New York. We are in Far East as far as Tokyo, Hong Kong, Shanghai. And we've even taken the sand to the beach. We are in Michelin-star restaurants, a select few in Germany, as well as in Switzerland, mostly in and around the Zurich area, but also the ski hills and Geneva as well. In fact, if you look at the lake behind me, we are probably the only winery that I know of that you can arrive and visit by land, by air, by water. We have a friend of ours that come with a float plane, come do a little tour of the winery, have some lunch, and get their stash and go. People come with their boats, and of course you can always drive too. Why South Okanagan? Does the world really need another new wine region? I say yes and no. If it's South Okanagan, it definitely deserves it. Why though? What's going on here? South Okanagan is full of paradoxes. It's also contradictory and complementary qualities. What I mean by that is, it's on the 49th parallel, so classic cool climate. But It's 35 plus degrees Celsius here during the day in the summertime, peaking to 40. It's definitely not cool, but this is the microclimate that we have. We are on the northernmost tip of the Sonoran Desert that starts in Mexico and comes up and hugs the eastern area of Washington and finishes into the Canadian border 20-30 kilometers. It's a very small valley. What does that all mean in terms of wine? The hot days give you the lush, the exuberant, the ripe fruit flavors that we've come to love from the New World wines. The cool nights, the shorter growing season, and being on the 49th parallel gives you all those nuances and the structure and the elegance that we've come to love from the Old World wines. So in some ways, it would be pretty accurate to actually say that South Okanagan wines are almost a marriage of the Old World and the New World.